What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. Today we're going to be going over the Officer Tatum and Warren Smith interview. They both both people are great YouTubers. Okay, if you guys get a chance, go over to their channel, like and subscribe, give their content a watch. It's pretty cool. I love watching Officer Brandon Tatum. He does some really good stuff, and Warren Smith, man, he takes some deep dives on some subjects. But today we're going to go over the Warren Smith interview of Brandon Tatum, and he found out some evidence, and I wanted to bring it to you guys. So we're going to react to that video, and I'm also going to bring up a few things that I found on my own, so you guys can check that out as well. Now, before we get started, I want to say the Charlie Kirk shooting is still an active investigation. So yes, things are subject to change. I have my beliefs on it, and I'm still up in the air of what happened, but that is my opinion. Okay, no, everything that I'm saying isn't fact. It's just my opinion, except the things that I've done my research on and found out online through reputable sources. So with that being said, I want everyone to realize you need to go and research things yourself. Okay, you will find out a lot more information if you do it yourself. Now, Brandon Tatum works for Turning Point USA. So yes, he does give a few things up in this interview, and that's what I wanted to go over. First, what we're going to do, we're going to go to 10 minutes and listen to what he says. Well, what Warren Smith says to him, and yeah, we're going to go from there real quick. So let's go.
Two big questions.
Imagine being able to build.
And of course.
Floating around, right? The first one, so we have, how did he break down the rifle in that amount of time as a police officer? Do you have any insight on that? Like Rob O'Neill, the guy who shot bin Laden last night on Pierce Morgan's, like it would take him 5 minutes, he's claiming.
Yeah, that he never, the FBI came back and said he never broke the gun down. That was a.
So, a lot of people didn't believe that, okay? And I didn't believe it either, because the type of rifle he used was a bolt action rifle. And with him taking the time to break it down after he takes a shot, the time frame wouldn't have lined up, okay? And what Brandon Tatum's about to say is very logical. So listen.
Preliminary statement that was made, but the FBI came back and cleared it up that he never broke the gun down. It's not a thing anymore. So, which would make sense because you can't break a 30-06 down like that. I mean, and then you think you'll break the 30-06 down, and then you're going to put it back together and fire it, and it's going to fire properly, or it's you're going to get an accurate shot. That nobody.
Excellent point. Okay, you're not going to be able to break it down and put it back together and expect to have the same shot that you would have, and that's if he would have rifled it in. Okay, and if he did take the shot, that was one hell of a shot. Yes, the gun he used, that's an easy shot to make, but even then, like, just taking the time to break it down and making sure everything is done properly, putting it back together, making sure you're scoping everything isn't messed up. I mean, yeah, that makes perfect sense. He didn't break it down. Okay, which leads to other questions as far as him, getting off the roof with it. Later on in the video, he says that he did have it wrapped in the towel. When he jumped down, that's what happened. So the FBI has come out and said that. They retracted their statement as far as him breaking it down and said that he did not break it down. Okay. Now, what I want to do is go to 6 minutes, because there is a good thing that, or it's about 6:10. They talk about the when Charlie got shot, and Brandon slips up a little bit, and he doesn't slip up, but he makes a few statements that made me do a little bit like a deep dive into. So, and I wanted to bring this to you guys, but let's listen to this.
In financial growth, and so when he's gone at some point, and so for people to be around him,
Hold on.
It's nonsensical. But anyway, I want to know some of that you heard that you want me to debunk.
Here we go. This is what we need to
do.
Like,
I mean, the theory of the shot coming from behind seems to be logically disproven by what you just said. Like it seems like
not only logically, there was an autopsy done.
Okay, coming to the autopsy. Now this is where he's going to explain what he has heard from him working through Turning Point USA, okay? And I want you guys just to pay close attention to what he says, and then I'm going to bring up some information and show you guys. So here we go.
Right.
And there is no entry. There's no entry, and this is not an exit wound according to the autopsy, which is very clear. But people, for some reason, they don't want to believe that the autopsy is there. The autopsy yielded. They found out, and I don't want to say too much, but the autopsy yielded where the entry wound was and how the bullet killed him. It's already been determined. They found the bullet lodged in his body. They can tell you exactly where, what was severed, what killed him, where the bullet traveled from his neck down through his body. They have it all, fragmentation of the round that spouted through his body. They have.
That's what I wanted to bring up. So with that being said, he just said about how they found the round in his neck. I know that was a big thing. People were saying there's no way you're going to find a round in his neck. Now, what I want to do is I want to bring to you guys, we're going to look at some types of rounds, okay? I went ahead and went online and I had asked, are there 30-06 rounds that fragment upon impact on soft tissue? And it says a 30-06 wounding ballisticstudies.com. Okay, this is where the information is coming from. The 30-06 Springfield cartridge is known for its high energy performance, capable of taking down large game like moose, elk, and even bears. However, its behavior depends on factors such as bullet type, impact angle, distance, and the tissue or bone it encounters. The 30-06 can be designed to fragment upon impact with soft tissues, causing massive tissue disruption and creating a permanent cavity known as a bullet hole. The fragmentation can lead to significant damage, including torn muscles and holes in internal organs, as the kinetic energy of the projectile is transferred to the victim on impact. The extent of the wound is determined by the kinetic energy on impact, the extent of the temporary cavity, and the amount of the bullet fragmentation. Okay. So, and it makes sense. There are so many different types of rounds you can buy, and I just wanted to bring this up a few, like 30-06 rounds that fragment, and like basically you can go online and you can find some. I mean, it's just, there's so many different rounds that you can find, and it's like, I don't know. I mean, if you guys want to do a deeper dive, you can, but there are rounds that will fragment upon tissue. And if it did hit his vertebrae, like Officer Tatum said, they found what it severed, what it hit, and then they found the fragmentation of the rounds down in his body, which makes perfect sense, okay? Yes, I know there's a bunch of videos online saying, oh, let me bring this up real quick. So if you look here, these are different types of 30-06 rounds, okay? And it's like, well, these are different types of rounds. That picture's kind of, let me see if I can find you. Well, anyway, there's a bunch of different types of rounds, okay? And it's like, you got to think, like, if they were using a fragmentation round, and it's, I mean, there's so, like, look at the tips on ballistic tips. I mean, you'll have hollow points, you'll have lead tips, you'll have full metal jackets. I mean, you have sabot rounds. I know with mine, I buy a bunch of Hornady rounds. But like I said, there are so many different rounds, which makes sense. But like I said, I just wanted to bring that to everybody wondering, because there's a lot of videos out there saying that, oh, that bullet would have passed straight through, broken the vertebrae and everything. And yes, depending what round was used, it would have went straight through his neck, straight through the neck vertebrae, everything. Depending what round. Now, explaining how the round works and how it fragmented, and if you've seen the video, it caused a big hole in the front. Yes, it makes sense that it was a fragmentation round. Okay, and I just wanted to bring that up. Like, we'll go back and just listen to what he says. Like,
lodged in his body. They can tell you exactly where, what was severed, what killed him, where the bullet traveled from his neck down through his body. They have it all, fragmentation of the round that spouted through his body. They have all of that investigated through an autopsy, and it's given over to the FBI. So they know exactly what happened to Charlie.
And that's another thing is that there's a lot of people out there saying that there was no autopsy done. And Officer Tatum, I don't know if I told you guys, yes, he was a police officer, and he does make a valid point. If any type of homicide or death that is questionable, they are going to do an autopsy. Now, if it's like you die from old age or something, yeah, most of the times it's natural causes. But yeah, so there was an autopsy done. Clearly, you can hear him say it. He says about the round being fragmented through his body. They clearly found that as well, most likely through X-rays. And there's a lot more things being brought to light now that we know this. The question is, though, was there one shooter still? From what it's looking like, yes, I believe there was one shooter. I believe that the round that was used was a fragmentation round. I believe most likely he was going for a headshot, but he ended up hitting a neck. A lot of people don't factor in when they're hunting that like your scope sits above your barrel, so you might have your scope directly on the head, and your barrel is aimed down. So, with that, it's like that. From this interview alone, it brings out a lot of questions. It answers a lot of questions that I've had, and now knowing that it's kind of looking like more things are going to be more things are being brought to light. I still have my questions though. Like I made a video the other day about I went on Google Earth and I showed there were so many different routes that shooter could have taken without injuring himself, being able to hide the weapon better, everything. Him jumping off the side of the building it doesn't make sense to me when he could have just walked. He could have ran straight, jumped down to a set of stairs that would have allowed him to be covered. It just doesn't make sense. Like he took a chance at injuring himself, jumping off a roof with the rifle. He could have easily like disappeared through the building and then, or just through a different exit. If you guys get a chance, look back to my videos and check it out. But I mean that still bothers me a little bit, and the fact that they're like, what was that muzzle flash from the other window that you see? That maybe we'll never figure it out, but that does still bother me as well. But like I said, I just want to bring this video to you guys. If you guys get a chance, go over to Warren Smith's YouTube channel, or even go to Officer Tatum's YouTube channel. Watch this, okay, and you will learn a lot more. Like, things are starting to come out, and they didn't. I will say, they didn't waive the preliminary hearing. They continued the preliminary hearing. The preliminary hearing is where you get to prevent all the evidence. The person gets to see all the evidence against them. The defendant gets to see all the evidence against him, and then the judge also needs to see all the evidence being brought against the defendant. That way he can push it up to higher court. So, but like I said, yeah, if you guys get a chance, go over to watch this video. I hope you guys like this video. I know it opened up a few things for me. If you can, please like and subscribe. Hit the like button. I'm trying out a bunch of things. Like I said, knowledge is power, man. I'm just trying to soak up anything and everything. I have been doing a bunch of shorts trying to, show survival things. But yeah, if you can, just please like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, and if you're having a bad day, remember, go outside, get some vitamin D from the sun. Do something positive. Don't let life hold you down. I mean, life isn't an adventure. You just got to take that first step to get on it. Okay. So, like I said, you guys have a good one, and I'm out of here.